Alright everyone, welcome back to Midwest DBS. I got a Gotenks deck profile for you, so like and subscribe if you like the content that we're doing. I know yellow is considered bad right now unless you're playing Sin Shinron, but I don't care. I like yellow, so I try to make different decks work. So Gotenks works on the front side, kind of like the Broly leader. When it swings, you get to draw a card to take a life. It has an auto once per turn. If your opponent has one or more energy, when they activate an extra card, you get to draw a card. It's an Awaken at 4, and it's a Restand 2 energy. And then on the other side, when it attacks, you get to draw a card. It also has auto once per turn. When your opponent activates an extra card, you can draw a card. It also has an auto once per turn. When you Union Fuse, this card gains 5,000 power and critical. So to start out with the deck, we're going to go through our unisons first. We first off play 3 Borgamo Giant Force. This card is really in there just to have a unison come down on turn 1 that's hard to deal with, that every marker that it gets 3,000 power. So it just snowballs out of control if they don't check it. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Because it has a +0, which adds a marker. And it also has a, when this card is attacked, you get to add a marker. So basically on turn 1, it comes down with a marker, you get to add a marker. Then if your opponent tries to swing at it, you add a third marker. So on their turn, it has 3 markers. Now when they do attack, it'll take away a marker, but when it comes back to your turn, you get to add a marker, and so on and so forth. And then really after turn 2, you have enough stuff in here to protect it that it can just get crazy. Now the -2, you do have one target for it. You have one Universe 9 card. You're really not really minusing 2. It's just in there just to turn 1 unison that's just going to snowball and get crazy if they don't deal with it. We played 2 SS Gogeta Dynamic Unison. It's still a good unison in this deck because it's +1. Essentially lets you discard 2, draw 2. So if you need to find stuff later, you can basically filter through your deck. It also has a cool -4. During your opponent's turn, your opponent can only switch up to 2 of their energy to active mode, which can make things difficult for them at times. It also has permanent if all your energy is tapped, it gains 5,000 power. But and also when your opponent activates an extra card, you can add a marker. So with this card and this guy out, essentially you can draw cards and add markers to him if your opponent tries to negate or use any extra card. So that's enough about the unisons. So since we're running those unisons, we are running free counterplay. Running 3 Vegeta Prideful Transformation. It's counterplay. It has blocker, and you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. So, and the key of being defensive, and that's really good with that Borgamo too. Good at protecting it. We play 3 Exceptional Ability Pan. Right now, with the field being so aggressive it is, blockers are really good. And it's just a 1-drop blocker. If you have unison, it replaces itself. Draw a card. A lot of times in yellow, that's what you're just trying to do is play cards that replace themselves to keep your hand count decent. We also play 3 Basil Fatal Rampage. Once again, when you play it, you get to draw a card. It has a permanent, which basically says it's unique. You can only have one in the battle area. It also has if your opponent has 5 or more cards in rest mode, this card gains 14,000. No, sorry, 15,000 in dual attack. So this is being a 19k dual attacker. It's good at swinging down battle cards, swinging at later twice, or swinging at unison twice. It also retains that 19 power during your opponent's turn, and then its power resets when it goes back to your turn. Now, we're going through our fusion package. So we played 4 of this just because it's really good. Because it allows you to pick a card in Oranberry and put it in rest mode, which is what this deck was kind of missing. And then we also play 2 of each of these. These are in there to Union Fusion. Also, later in the game, if this is in your drop, you can, in this one, you can essentially discard a card from your hand to bring it back. So, gives you fusion targets later in the game if you're needing one. Now, the guys are going to fuse into, we did a 3-1 split. 3 of him. So For 3, you get a Union Fusion. He's double strike, dual attack. And like with that one card, it switches the card to rest mode, ignoring barrier. This one will blow up battle card, ignoring barrier, and KO it. I believe it actually says it. When this, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and rest mode, ignoring barrier. Yeah, negate the skills as well, and then you KO it. Also, you get to draw 2 cards when you Union Fuse with that. Sorry, clear my throat. These early morning videos. And next we have Gotenk's Power of Fusion. He's a double striker. The reason why he's in there is because the difference between 3 and 2. Sometimes you need to go into a Union Fusion earlier to KO something. So that's what this does. When you go into him, you get a KO, a battle card in rest mode, and draw 1 card. So it doesn't draw the 2, but has activate main. You can send this to the bottom of your deck. Oops, sorry, bumped the camera. Yep, and then you get to pick one of each of your fusion targets and bring it back. So you can Union Fuse, KO something in rest mode, draw a card, swing. Then if you want, activate main, you puts at the bottom of your deck and go grab a Trunks and Goten. Since we are in yellow, we're going to run the best super combo we can. I still believe Zamasu is the best, so super combo, and when you combo with it, you get to pick one of your opponent's leader cards or battle cards and put it in rest mode. So it's very good defensively. It can be good offensively if you need to tap down blockers. It's just very versatile. Good super combo. Next we're running 2 Draw Monkeys. Draw Monkeys are good. It gives you something to do with your energy. If you don't have anything else to do with your energy, draw 2 cards. Pretty self-explanatory. Since we are putting a lot of cards in rest mode with other effects, we're running Bergamo. It's an auto, and the auto kind of acts like an arrival. So when one of your opponent's cards is switched to rest mode, you can bring him in for 2, and then you choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards or energy, ignoring barrier, and switch them to rest mode. Great, great card. Another yellow staple, 3, Warcry. It combos for 2. When it comes into play, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards, rest it, draw a card, double strike. So it's a 2 energy double strike that draws a card. So the thing is with the counterplay heavy feel that is right now, a lot of times in a lot of games, just pay attention to your opponent's unison card before you play this or this. Make sure you get the markers off, or try to get it under. Like if you're on the play, you can just go turn 2 to this before they can really even have a unison do anything, and you have a 20k double striker. So just, you got to pay attention to the free counter plays. Now some of our tech cards. We are running 1 Cooler, acts like battering laser. And times when you're going for a game and you know you got it, they try to negate. You can counter. Basically say your negate means nothing and combo up for game. It also can draw cards. Another one, playing 1. Now this is very situational. All your opponent's energy has to be in rest mode, and when it is, you reduce the energy cost of this by 3. But when that happens, you have a 4 energy triple attack barrier. And when you play this card, you choose all your opponent's battle cards in order barrier and switch them to rest mode. So if they have any pesky blockers or anything, this is just going to deal with all that, and it's a good way to game your opponent. So another is 1 Chilled, because essentially in this deck it could be a free play 25k double strike. You have to have 5 energy to do it, but when one of your opponents, like we're switching a lot of stuff to rest mode, when you switch to rest mode, you just get a free play them. So 25k double strike for free. Fu, Shroud of Mystery. Since this deck can take the game into the later game, Fu, Shroud of Mystery is great. If you get to 6 energy and you play this card, you should not lose the game. That should be game right there. So basically, if you have this card in your hand, you can get to 6 energy and you drop this bad boy, it's really hard for you to lose, because it just basically says your opponent can't do words, can't do skills, except for on the leader card. So any other card besides the leader that has text, that text does no longer matter. And yeah, that's backbreaking. Now we'll get to our extra cards. Giant Ball, counterplay. Puts a card your opponent's playing into rest mode, replaces itself, and draws a card. Now our negate package is a little different. We're running 3 Nimbus, because Nimbus is still good against aggro decks. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still good. 1 time magic. I used to run more time magic, but I wanted to make room for 2 of these in the main. I like this card in the main right now. With all these decks scaling bigger, I think running 2 max power Kamehameha in the main of almost any deck is not a bad choice. It's either negate or it's going to blow up something. So it's very versatile, and you can take it from your drop and put it back in your hand to use later in the game. So that's all I got for you in this video. We're going to keep grinding out content. So once again, if you like what we're doing, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.